What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the GridironTalkZone Podcast. It is Week 3 recap time. We're going to talk about the games that just went on in Week 3 NFL. We're also going to talk about Derek Carr getting injured. We're going to talk about some other storylines. There's some, coaching storylines with Mike McDaniel having a big week, really big week actually. And then Sean Payton, we'll talk about him. What's going
It was
on?
an average week.
May sneak in some Travis Kelce talk at the end, but yeah, there's a lot going on in the NFL that we can talk about on this podcast. So let's start it off with Thursday Night Football. We watched this game together. Giants 12, 49ers 30. My takeaways from this was kind of what we expected. The Giants to not really compete much, just the 49ers offense is too dominant for that defense to handle. And the 49ers have that really good pass rush getting after Daniel Jones. Banged up Giants O-line. The Giants were just doomed from the start. It was clear in this game. Any takeaways before we move on to the Sunday slate?
Yeah. Well, what I said on the pod was that this is a test for Daniel Jones, whether you like it or not. I mean, he didn't have anybody, obviously. He didn't have Saquon. Obviously, that hurts. But this could have been a statement moment for him because he just got a big contract and he hasn't really been living up to it so far. But he did not. He didn't pass the test. He's a long season.
Are you aware who plays on Monday Night Football this week?
No.
Giants head to Seattle, so the Giants get another Monday Night Football game. I think with
the Giants on prime time, that's so gross.
I think, they're a historic franchise. They had a good season last year. They won a playoff game. But I think you're looking at it from the standpoint as the Seahawks defense has been very disappointing the first 3 weeks of the year. I think this is Daniel Jones' chance for a statement game. This will be a big game for him and for this team moving forward. Can you get to 2-2?
Okay, look, I'll say this:
1-3. It's a game that they probably should lose, but I think the Seahawks. I think I saw the spread. I heard was the Giants should lose this game.
The Giants are favored.
I thought the Seahawks were 1.5 point favorite.
No, the Giants are 1.5 point favorite. I'm looking at it right now.
Why? Why are the Giants favored to beat the Seahawks?
Because
it's in New York. My bad. I said it was in Seattle. I'm tripping. It's in New York.
No.
Should be a pretty good game. I don't know why the Giants are favored, though. I just think the Seahawks are clearly the better team. I mean, I don't really understand this. But anyway,
we can move on from the Giants. I don't know if Jackson was saying anything, but if they lose this game, their season's over.
That is
100%.
In my opinion.
So they're going to beat the Dolphins on the road the next week?
No, they have a tough schedule going forward. They're going
to beat the Bills on the road after that? If they start 1-5, their season's over.
Anyway, we can move on to the Sunday slate of games.
Am I wrong?
Dude.
Okay, let's move on.
On to the Sunday slate of games, starting with, let's see, what was the game that I was looking at? Titans-Browns. Browns won 27-3. This was really more about just Myles Garrett and company, like we were kind of talking about before. The Browns pass rush versus the Titans O-line was clearly a mismatch in this game, and I didn't expect it to be this much of a blowout, but that just really took over the game and made things hard on Tannehill and company, and the Browns took care of business as they should have.
Yeah, Jackson, you can say what you want to say.
Well, I mean, the only advantage the Titans had is Vrabel, and I mean, he can't win a game like that when Deshaun Watson is playing as good as he did, and I mean, he played very good. Not very good, but Deshaun Watson had a big step up.
Yeah.
And I think that looks very good for the Browns. And Jerome Ford showed that he can be a nice substitute for Nick Chubb. So Browns could be a scary team if they play at that high of a level, but I don't think they have the consistency for it. But I think this is more about the Titans maybe aren't as scary as we thought from that week 2.
Yeah, I'll say football is a game of matchups, especially like week to week. I mean, I'm not by any means saying the Titans are better than the Browns. But I will say that they match up horribly with the Browns. And I don't necessarily think this is – I mean, obviously, I think it's just more about Cleveland and not as much about Tennessee because the Cleveland defense – I don't know if y'all realize, but that was the first time a team has been in the red zone all year on them.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, no. And because they had two defensive touchdowns. And they had that long touchdown to Pickett.
They still scored on offense. Oh, but what about the field goals?
Not in the red zone.
Oh.
And the only reason why the Titans got in the red zone was because the Browns turned the ball over. It was nothing to do with the defense. Like, that is insane. I don't know if they'll keep it up. They got a big game next week. But I think this says more about the Browns and their ceiling than the Titans.
Interesting perspective there. We can move on to the next game. Falcons-Lions. Lions 20, Falcons 6. Not much to say here. It's just Jared Goff plays really well at home, and the Lions are clearly the better team, in my opinion. Any thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, I think we keep talking about in previous weeks the test for Desmond Ridder, and I think he's officially failed. And I think the season's over for the Falcons because Ridder isn't good enough. It's not obviously over because, I mean, they're still not off to an awful start. But Ridder, I think we've seen that Ridder's not going to be able to get it done against many teams.
Yeah, he's not showing it, man.
Ridder just doesn't have it, and I think that's just gonna continue to show. So obviously you can't say the season's over, but that's
Their
more of a
team is too good, man, to have a guy like Ridder. Oh.
Who?
The Falcons. They got too many weapons to not use them.
Yeah, fair take.
The Lions are the better team, but yeah, we can say
good take on Ridder. On to the Saints-Packers game. This game was in Lambeau Field. Big storyline was obviously Derek Carr getting hurt. That just clearly, put the Saints out of the game. It was 17-0. You see Carr gets hurt, and then the Packers score 18 straight points and win the game in the fourth quarter. Very impressive for Jordan Love to put together that clutch string of plays versus a good defense in the fourth quarter. But, yeah, I think it's more about just the Carr injury. How serious is this going to be? Sounds like it's going to be a week or two, but, it's just a stinker to see a team about to be 3-0, and then the quarterback goes down, and now they're 2-1, and now not going to happen the next week. So, unfortunate for the Saints, but that's really my only takeaway from this game.
Yeah, I agree, Nick. That's tough for the Saints. I don't really have any takeaways from this. Honestly, I don't really know if I have any takeaways for this game because the Saints defense, I think, is still legit. I don't really know what happened in the fourth quarter. I don't know. They just lost juice when Carr left, and Jameis went in there. And if you watch that game, when you watch Jameis on offense, it was completely different from Carr. I mean, we obviously give Carr a lot of crap, but he's way better than Jameis. So, this really sucks for the Saints. The Packers were super banged up, so I will give them that. Like, Bakhtiari was out, Jair was out, Aaron Jones was out. Like, those are three, they're probably, 6 best players. I mean, that's tough. So if they get help, they have a big game, too, on Thursday. So if they can – and Christian Watson's coming back. That's a big one, too. So, yeah, the Packers need to get healthy. I think the Packers are – I don't know. I think they can be sneaky in the NFC.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I disagree because I think there's a bigger takeaway is that the Packers can get it done. I think the Packers going into play Washington, I think that's going to be a better game. I think the Packers with those injuries and Watson coming back, Packers are playing the Commanders.
No, they're playing the Lions.
They're playing the Lions.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said Washington. You said Washington.
Okay, well, I meant to say they're playing the Lions. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, so they're playing the Lions, and I think Love showing he can get it done without those options, and Musgrave is coming together. So I think the Packers look a little scarier.
Yeah, they just need to get healthy.
Yeah, especially when Aaron Jones having an explosive debut for the season.
That's tough. Yeah, again, back to the Saints, it's really tough for them. Like you said, about to be 3-0. Now they're 2-1, and they have a big game this week. I mean, for sole position of first place in the division against Tampa next week. So yeah, that's really tough for the Saints.
Moving on to the next game, the Broncos 20, the Dolphins 70. Jackson, take it over.
Dude, there's nothing to talk about, man. I mean,
what do you mean?
The Dolphins are an incredible offense, and the Broncos suck, and they got away from us. So, I mean, I don't know what I can't analytically dive down and talk about who did good this game because I was just crying the whole time. So Devon
Wait.
looks good.
I don't mean to break. Did you see that play where Robbie Chosen Anderson?
Yes,
burned
Burn
Surtain? That was
Surtain,
so bad. That was just can it get any worse?
I mean, we know Surtain is a dog, so I'm gonna leave it
let
down.
one slide.
I'm gonna leave it down to he gave up, and I mean, God, what an awful
Yeah,
game.
we'll talk about the Broncos later.
The Broncos have a free win coming up next week, so it's okay.
It's interesting to look at it from a standpoint as this is the 104th year of pro football. It started back. You see, this 1920 Canton Bulldogs. It started in 1920. We just witnessed, guys, the best offensive performance of football in the history of football Sunday.
Wait, what? They didn't put up the most points though.
But
yeah, I think Hollis got it.
But
offensive points.
Know your history.
But the Bears.
You don't even know George Hallis? Oh my God.
The Bears, George Hallis, 1940, slinging Sammy Baugh on the.
Okay, don't steal my fact. Don't steal
his.
No, but listen,
that was my fact.
The fact is they scored 3 defensive touchdowns that game, 3 pick sixes off of Sammy Baugh.
Sammy Baugh stinks. All right.
They may have even scored more than that. I know it was at least 3, but
shout out Sammy Baugh if you're watching, dude. Shout out.
Anyway, you look at from the fact that the Dolphins scored 10 offensive touchdowns, no special teams, no defense. I mean, it doesn't matter who is at receiver. Waddle's out of there. You have Chosen Anderson making plays, running backs, both. How do you say his name? Achan.
Achan.
No, but he corrected it. He corrected his fans and said it's
Achan. I'm gonna say Achan.
But anyway, you have Achan and they both went out there and just balled. So McDaniel really schemed things up here. This was the best offensive performance in the history of professional football right here. And it was just impressive to see, and it's funny how as we're doing this pod with a Broncos fan, this happens, in the 104 years of
okay, just rub it in, dude. Jesus.
Honestly,
we're not gonna I promise we weren't gonna rub it in with the Bears, but now we just might have to.
I was trying to rub it in. I was just saying.
Let's look at the Bears' aggregate score compared to the Broncos' aggregate score with a 50-point loss. It's still a little close.
No, I think also what I'll say about this game, I'm not as impressed as you are, Nick. I mean, yeah.
They scored 70 points.
No, it's against a bad. Okay.
I don't care.
Just say it. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Against an NFL team, you scored 70 points.
So does this
beat the Cowboys?
Does this make you change your opinion on them?
On who?
The Dolphins.
Yeah, I think they're the best team in the NFL.
Wow. They're gonna win the Super Bowl.
I'm not making Super Bowl predictions on this.
They're gonna win the Super Bowl, is what you just said.
Are they Super Bowl favorites?
Are they the favorites going to the AFC today?
I think they should be the favorite to win the AFC today, yeah.
That's tough. That's not gonna
I'm not predicting it to happen right now, but I think just looking at the standpoint, they should probably be the favorite, and it wouldn't shock me if they won it, obviously. It's just
their first 2 games.
Amazing.
It depends how you think of the Chargers. I mean, that was a close game, and then the Patriots, obviously, they're not very good, at least offensively, and the Dolphins, didn't.
I'm not going to say I disagree, to be honest.
Okay,
I'm thinking about it, I can't say I disagree.
In the third quarter, December 8th, 1940, there was 3 defensive return touchdowns in that game. So,
all right, cool.
God forbid me and Jude start arguing about a football match and we have to move on. Let's make sure we have time for this.
That's 49 offensive points versus 70 offensive.
I didn't disagree. When did I say you were wrong?
Not 49, but
73 versus 70.
49. Yeah.
So they're gonna score 50 next week against the Bills.
Who?
The Dolphins.
They're gonna score 50. I don't know.
You're talking about them like they will.
When did I say they would score 50? I just said they had the greatest offensive display.
You said that 4 times already.
I mean, because it can't be understated. That was I've never seen an offensive game that impressive.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't.
You're acting like it just doesn't matter that they scored 70 points. Like it doesn't matter to how good we should think their team is.
I'm going to say that.
But the Bucs can go beat the Bears and Vikings by close games. And
why do you want to bring up the Bucs?
And then we think they're the kings of the NFL.
When did I say that?
Metaphor.
Yeah, you're just What? You're not making any sense. I've never said. Okay, we're gonna talk about them later, but I've never said anything outside of the Bucs will make the playoffs. I've never said they're a Super Bowl team. I've never said they were a contender in the NFC.
Yeah, I know you didn't say any of that, but like it's just the fact though.
Because you think they suck, and I wanted to tell you that they don't.
I still kind of do think they suck, to be honest.
I know you do, but
anyway, no. The point is, like, the Dolphins, that performance should definitely, I think, at least make us open to the fact that they could go out there and win the Super Bowl this year.
I think it's cool it put Broncos in contention for the worst team in football. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean they're a contender in the AFC. Not denying that. It's just I need to see more because it's not with their offense. I'm just saying they need to be healthy. I don't trust them to stay healthy.
I'd say I'm with Nick on this one.
What?
I think the Dolphins are the best team in the NFL right now.
The Dolphins, I think, are the best team in the NFL, and I think injuries can happen at any position. Who thought Rodgers was going to get injured week 1? So I think it's kind of hard to
Yeah, but Rodgers didn't have a history. Like Tua's been hurt like multiple years. But he can going back to college too.
Quarterbacks can just still stay healthy then, and just those seasons happen.
Give me Skyler.
If he gets one more concussion, he's done with football, bro. That's my only knock. I literally said that before the season in the predictions. I said if they stay healthy, they might win the division, and I had them low because I didn't trust them. And yeah, I still think they can easily win the division, but this game doesn't change a whole lot. I mean, yeah, they're better than I thought, but it doesn't change a whole lot for me. I'm not some hater. I mean, I don't think I should be a hater.
Let's see. Ready to move on to the next game?
Yeah.
All right. Chargers 28, Vikings 24. Tough loss for the Vikings. Another tough loss. Just, you need to take care of the football. It comes down to that. Your quarterback's taking care of the football, which is the biggest part, of kind of taking care of the football. But then you have playmakers fumbling left and right every game. That's what's really costing this team games. Like, you're looking at it week 1, those 2 first half fumbles on the Bucs side of the field, those cost the Vikings that game. You look at that, that's 1-0. You look at last week, you don't fumble a kickoff, fumble going into the end zone, fumble there, 4 fumbles, you win that game. That's 2-0. TJ Hawkinson, if he doesn't fumble,
really easy to say, right? Really easy
to say.
Likely
win that game. Or if he doesn't drop the game, it wasn't a drop, but it was a catchable ball that he should. A good tight end usually hangs on to in the end zone. You're looking at 3-0. So, it's tough, but this is the story of the Vikings. We said last year, all those one-score wins, it's hard to repeat that, and it's kind of looking like that's going to be the story this year. They don't repeat those one-score wins. But, yeah, really good offense, who I still think wins 7, 8, 9 games this year. It's just rough that they had to start 0-3 because of,
Nick.
Yeah.
So, I hate to bring them up again, but if I were to say the Bucs lost the way they did because Mike Evans dropped 3 passes he usually catches, are you going to roll your eyes?
Am I going to roll my eyes? I don't think I'll roll my eyes, but
would you be like, what? Because that's my reaction to what you just said.
Okay, well then that's a different reaction. It's just because
you can say that, yeah. Obviously, they turn the ball over, but
it's the situations where they happen was so crucial.
And so what was the same thing with my
Evans dropped the first touchdown. Yeah.
Let's see.
He dropped the touchdown. He on the first drive.
I see one drop right here in his stats. One drop week 1
on PFF.
No,
really?
Yeah, I chose PFF.
So, name me the 5 best graded quarterbacks on PFF today.
I know that number 1 was Tua, 2 Mahomes, Lawrence was 3, and I'd have to relook at 4 and 5.
Really? Okay, we're really sitting here saying Lawrence is the 3rd best quarterback so far in 3 weeks?
I have to go back and watch the tape.
No.
Oh, my God.
Well, Lawrence say that.
Lawrence has been playing pretty solid.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Vikings. What I was going to say with the Vikings is, yeah, that goes into a team why a team isn't good. Like, I've said
before, the team isn't very good, but, it's just rough that it has to be that way why they're not good.
I guess. Well, I mean, it's just rough because you love Kirk Cousins. It's I mean, I didn't really expect anything. I mean, I'm not shocked at all by their 0-3. They have some tough situations coming up because, I mean, obviously they're not going to pay Kirk. But low-key, I was thinking about this the other day, or, after they lost. What's stopping them from going after one of the top quarterbacks in the draft? to pair up with Jefferson, like a Drake May. Like they're definitely not going to be the first pick. Like that's not going to happen. But like,
what if they already have a quarterback who they can win with?
But they're not going to pay him. What's the point of paying him? Drake May is a higher ceiling than Kirk.
Fail.
So why would you like when you get a quarterback on a rookie deal? That's when you can build your roster around. But when you have Kirk, like, okay, you're going to take this as an insult, but Kirk isn't the type of quarterback that can like lead a mediocre team to like the Super Bowl or like, and that's what you're trying to build in the NFL.
Yeah, that's why you need to put a team around it. But I get it. You have to pay Jefferson now. It's going to be hard to build that team because you have to pay Jefferson too.
Yeah.
So I totally get going.
But I don't know if paying Kirk Cousins is like. I don't think that's the best thing for them. I mean, it doesn't raise their. I mean, you think of them a lot higher than me, but I don't think their ceiling is like has ever been Super Bowl or like even. And that's what's the point of playing football is to win Super Bowls, and you're not going to win Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins.
I mean, you could if you have a good team.
He didn't have one last year?
They didn't have a good defense.
They didn't have a perfect team. They had a dang good team.
They had arguably the worst defense in football.
So you want him to have a good O-line, good running backs, good receiver, good like that's not possible.
The Cowboys.
That's not the case for Cowboys.
The Jets outside of the offensive line.
Oh, exactly. I just told you. The Chiefs do not have a perfect team. Their receivers stink.
Well, no NFL team's perfect besides
exactly
undefeated.
And the only team that's like perfect is like the Niners.
There's no perfect NFL team. The Niners have holes on the offense.
Obviously, it's not perfect, Nick, but it's like.
But like my point is, the Vikings have had a very bad defense, and that's continually costing them games. And now it's the skill players fumbling the football. But anyway, the Vikings.
In the red zone.
The Vikings, they seem like a team who can, go out there and lose to anybody any given week and beat pretty much anybody.
That's fair. I agree with you.
So that's why it's like so hard to predict the game-to-game schedule.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
But anyway, we can move on to the next game.
The Patriots talk about Chargers and Herbert.
Justin Herbert's I can't curse, but a freaking dog. 40
he is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. That's what I'm waiting to talk about. Justin Herbert, I think, is the best quarterback in the NFL.
That's spicy, but I like it. I don't agree, but
I mean,
I think if he gets an extra touchdown pass, if he doesn't give the one to Keenan, I mean, he gives that pass to Keenan.
15 carries for 30 yards. They couldn't run the ball. It didn't even matter. I know the Vikings defense is not good, but what more can you ask? 40 of 47 is nuts.
Yeah,
and Eckler's out, who's more of a receiving back.
And it's not even,
that's going to be more receptions.
It's not even like just look at the numbers with Herbert. If you like watch him play, like the throws he makes are just like
dog.
Ridiculous. Like you could say some quarterbacks like their stats are a little like different than what you saw because they're kind of dinking and dunking. But Herbert is making just like he has like man.
He has to outshoot.
He's like the perfect like quarterback. Like he does everything. No, like his traits are like perfect. Like what more can you ask for? The only thing you can ask for more is like obviously being like crazy mobile, but like he's so good.
Very, very good.
Well, anyway, okay, we can move on to the Jets, Patriots. Patriots 15, Jets 10. Kind of the game you expected, a lowest scoring game. Two really good defenses, two offenses who have kind of struggled early in the year. But yeah, Patriots pull away 15-10. Any thoughts on this game?
It's a Jets win with Rodgers, as I think something that needs to be noted is that Zach Wilson is starting to show why he can't be a starting quarterback in the NFL. There's just no room for him on the Jets, and he's losing them games now. I think that's an easy win. I mean, if you saw in those they got chances, and I mean, yeah, it would have been beautiful if Randall Cobb catches that Hail Mary, but it shouldn't have came down to that. That was an awful performance.
I'll say I don't want to go on a rant here, but it sucks saying this, but I feel like the Jets, like they're kind of acting like, oh, like poor me, we don't have Rodgers, like blah blah blah. But like okay, if you think about it. Okay, Nat Hackett, why is he on the Jets? Because he's Aaron Rodgers' friend. Why are the receivers on the Packers like Randall Cobb, Al Nazard? Because they're his friend. Like, I love Aaron Rodgers, so it hurts me to say this, but the Jets, like, they almost did this themselves. Like, Nat Hackett sucks. Like, he is not creative. Like, if he was worth anything, I promise you Zach Wilson looked better because he has talent. I don't mean to sit here and, like, defend Zach Wilson. Like, he has a good arm, but, like, if you just watch the Jets, their offense is not creative at all. Like, 22 carries for 38 yards. Like, you can't drop, like, a jet sweep every once in a while. Or, like, I don't know.
Wilson just looks terrified to me.
I know. He has no confidence.
Like, I get what you're saying, but I also think it needs to be stated that this team could be a winning team with Rodgers.
Yeah,
and I mean, if Breece Hall starts performing stuff like that, I mean, if some little things click in for the Jets, I think they easily win this game. This should have been a win for them.
12 carries for 15 yards, bro. That's so bad.
Yeah,
like the Patriots, they don't even think the throw is a threat, so they're obviously just going to stack the box. I mean, I don't necessarily think that's a knock against the Jets line. It's just, I don't know. When you have Garrett Wilson, like, you can't scheme up anything better. Like, Zach Wilson has talent, man. Like, if he was on the Niners, he would not look this bad. I promise you. He wouldn't look pretty, but he would not look this bad. So, yeah.
This bad, I agree with, but I think he would still be bottom 3 quarterbacks in the NFL on the Niners.
I don't know, man. I disagree.
I don't think I see him pass. I don't think he has the talent to pass up 3 other quarterbacks in a different system.
Well, I see what you're saying. Look at it as they brought over, of course, like, no one's going to be exactly Shanahan. The closest we've seen to it as one of his, coaches is Mike McDaniel. But they brought Mike LaFleur whenever they hired, brother of the greatest football coach to ever play, Matt LaFleur. And he also came from the Shanahan tree. So, you would expect – that's why I was high on Zach Wilson early in his career. I was thinking, okay.
Me too. I was too.
Good coaching, talent, and it just hasn't worked out. So I don't know if it's. I think it's more of him than the system. But
I think I think he might get one more, but I feel like he just needs one more shot. And I know he doesn't really deserve it, but I feel like he has talent, and New York is just such a tough place to play because everything going on. Like, I mean, it's just such a big. I mean, you can't lie. I mean, if you're a rookie quarterback and you're going to, like, a New York team, that's got to be, like, pretty terrifying, like, compared to other cities like Carolina. Like, there's not really much pressure from people in Carolina. Like, the Jets, like, you're expected to be, like, awesome, even though they've sucked.
I feel like I'm listening to a Justin Fields fan right now. Making a lot of excuses.
I'm not making
a lot of. And I mean, he's going in to play Kansas City. Like, I mean, do you really like? I mean, there's like, give me Trevor Siemian.
Defense is really good.
What?
Kansas City's defense is good.
I know, and he's going to get torn apart, is what I'm saying.
I know.
So, like, I mean, even if you say one more chance, he's going to get ripped apart.
No, I'm saying like a different new situation. New situation.
I don't think anyone wants to take that
risk. I know, but
I
players that are drafted that high, they're going to get a chance that you don't expect. Like, Sam Darnold got another chance, and he was terrible for the Jets. But it's just because he's a high pick and he had talent.
The Jets is where QBs go to get another chance, though. So
the QBs for the Jets go to die.
But there's been some young. I mean, Geno Smith went there.
He was awful.
He was drafted.
Exactly. QBs suck for the Jets.
That's what I'm saying. You're making my point.
I don't think Zach Wilson.
Jackson, you're arguing his point about.
I made one. I said one.
We can okay. Patriots. Yeah, it was like a fine game. Mac didn't. I mean, I kind of wanted him to, like, put the game away late, but he just couldn't seem to make a big throw. No, I mean, he's not. This isn't really up for debate. I don't think he's not really. I wouldn't necessarily call it clutch, but, like, I don't think he's a clutch quarterback. That's just my personal opinion. That's not anything to do with this game.
The Jets had every chance to win the game because of him.
Yeah, Mac Jones didn't screw up. That's all it was. I don't know. We can move on.
On to the Bills Commanders. Big story of this game was, the turnovers. Just turnover after turnover. Sam Howell, he was due to have a stinker. Played pretty solid the first 2 games of the year. Now you're playing Buffalo. Sucks to have this happen, especially at home. But I kind of didn't watch much of the second half, but the first half, Commanders were moving the ball very well, and then it's just turnover after turnover. So, big stinko for Sam Howell and company, but, this is one where you just basically chalk it up as throw the game away.
Throw the tape out. Yeah.
See what you can learn from the turnovers, and that's about it. Because other than that, it's kind of rough. I feel like if you're trying to really break it down, why did we lose this game 37-3? Other than looking at it all over a million times, you're just overanalyzing.
I agree.
Keep doing what you've been doing, Bieniemy, because it was working the first 2 weeks. You just had a very bad turnover.
You run into a team like the Bills. I mean, that's tough.
Bills look hot.
Yeah. Commanders. I wasn't expecting that game to go that bad. I was expecting the Bills win pretty handily. But I was kind of I wouldn't say disappointed, but just from the first 2 weeks, Howell looked like decent. So I was expecting a little more than that. The turnovers were bad. It wasn't it was tipped or it was just the turnovers were kind of bad. So
not a good look.
Yeah, tough look for the Commanders. Allen didn't really need to do anything. Did what he needed to do. It didn't really screw up the Bills' defense. Commanders and the Bills have massive games coming next week.
All right, ready to move on?
Yeah.
Yep.
On to the next game. The Texans, Jaguars. Texans, big game.
Woohoo!
37-17. Jude, you can talk about this one.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's checked. I don't know if y'all are looking. The Vegas odds, CJ Mother Bleepin' Stroud is the Rookie of the Year favorite this morning. I couldn't be more happy as a Texans fan, honestly. Not even just from this game, but just from Stroud. He's played awesome. The defense, I will give Nick's boy Trevor Lawrence this. Some of the throws he made were dropped that they could have had more points. 37-17 is, I don't know. I think that game was a little weird.
Missed kicks.
Yeah, I definitely don't think the Texans are better than the Jags by 20. I definitely don't think that. So I'm not necessarily taking as much from the Jags because I wasn't really that high on them to begin with. But for the Texans, I wasn't expecting this. Obviously, Jackson picked the upset, so respect to Jackson. Yeah, man. Tank Dell looks really good. Oh, yeah. I couldn't be more happy as a Texans fan, honestly, this week.
Any takeaways, Jackson?
Andrew Peck made a play after spending some time with the Broncos. Andrew Beck goes and makes a play for the Texans. So
beautiful.
I'm no longer an Andrew Beck fan.
That play was beautiful. Yeah. Jags, they got some issues.
All right, moving on to the Colts beating the Ravens in overtime. This was a little bit of a shocking game. Matt Gay, what a performance from him. 4 50-plus yard field goals. I think that was the first time in NFL history that's happened in a game or something like that. Anyway, so, yeah, special teams, man. Made some big kicks, and that's really what won them the game. They played good defense throughout the entire game. And, defense and special teams ended up winning them a road game, so that was impressive.
Yeah, the loss of Dobbins really showed. Running game was so slow for the Ravens, but Lamar Jackson looks good. They're missing OBJ and who's not great, and they're missing J.K. Dobbins, but
they're missing
I think it should be
two starting linemen too.
I think
they've been struggling with injuries. The Ravens.
They always do. It sucks, but the Ravens always are hurt. I don't necessarily think this is much of a takeaway for the Ravens. I don't know what y'all think. I don't necessarily think
I think it's a takeaway. I think it's disappointing,
Yeah,
I think it's a positive takeaway for the Ravens because I think Lamar Jackson looked really good. I think that's one positive thing. It's not a positive, net positive because, they take a big L. That's a game they should win. But Lamar Jackson looks good. It's two consecutive good games in a row after a bad week one. So that's good to see.
The Ravens – They just have such a tough division. They need every win. I will say that. That's a tough loss, but I don't necessarily if I would take anything away from just congratulations to the Colts. I hate the Colts. Probably my favorite team in the NFL. But that was a nice win, obviously without AR. I don't know.
They're giving him a cushiony seat to land on when he comes back.
Yeah, Minshew looked decent, but honestly, did y'all watch like the end of the game?
Yeah, OT.
Yeah. Nick, did you watch it?
Yeah, it was sad.
A little bit.
Well, they had a PI that should have been called. And
Yeah, I saw.
I don't mean to be a hater on the Colts, but the Ravens and Justin Tucker. I mean, it was 60 yards, but he missed a field goal. I didn't know it was possible.
Yeah,
And
that was crazy. Short.
Yeah, short on a 60-yarder. I was
straight down the middle, but short from.
I thought that was money.
That's more historical than Matt Gay. Let's be
Justin
honest.
Tucker missing a field goal. Lamar ran for 100 yards. Jeez.
I think this is more of the story though that I want to talk about is the future of Jonathan Taylor with Zach Moss filling in his role. Not obviously at the rate of JT,
Taylor.
but he looks pretty good. And what's the future for Jonathan Taylor with the Colts? Because he didn't show up with the team in week 1. He's obviously not enthusiastic to be there and has like no commitment to the Colts. So, what's the future with Jonathan Taylor for y'all? What do y'all think his next?
You can
move
say
is?
what you want to say, Nick.
What?
You can talk on it first.
I mean, I think they're going to still look at trading him. It's just going to be, does Jim Lewis say want to take down his asking price, and then he'll get a deal? If not, we'll see if he comes and suits back up or not. But yeah, nothing really much.
I think there's a little bit of a hole there for the Broncos.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes for the Broncos. Pause.
That's true.
I don't know. Jonathan. That situation is kind of weird. I don't really know what's going on there. I mean, they said he's out for the first 4 weeks. I don't know if.
I think he was on the sidelines this past weekend.
Okay. I mean, I guess that's a positive. But I mean, he's right. Moss does look good.
Yeah, me personally, I would not want to keep paying.
Taylor's got to be tradable. I mean, because originally, me and Nick agreed that Taylor and Richardson in the backfield will be like insane. But I don't know if it's worth paying Taylor, honestly.
With Moss doing this good, it can't be.
I know.
I would not want to pay Taylor with Moss.
Even without him, I don't even know if he's – because running back is such an expendable position now. I don't even think it's worth it.
I think they go out and they get another receiver or add to the defense.
That's a great win for them. Yeah. They need another receiver too. But they'll have drafts.
I like the receivers. I just feel like they that they haven't used like the passing game the last 2 years well enough to show it's complicated, but like Pittman obviously is not a takeover number 1, but he's pretty solid.
He's pretty good. I like Pittman.
He's been really good this year.
I think
Downs looks good.
I think Pierce has a lot of
they were thrown to him.
I think Pierce can be a really good number 2 in this league.
I don't know. I'm not sold
really good
Pierce yet. I don't know.
I wouldn't say I'm sold, but I do like his production.
Yeah,
he's solid. I'm
sold on Pierce. I just feel like he doesn't get the ball enough.
They need another guy.
And Downs is progressive.
Downs
solidly.
They need to draft the receiver. Like maybe not.
I agree. I agree. It'd be nice if they could get another guy, but the receiver core isn't awful.
But I know
it could have been a lot worse. They look good. There's something's going right in the staff for them because everybody is playing highly.
I know after 3 weeks, all three of us would not be saying to ourselves, "Wow, the Colts are the top team in the AFC North or South." Who would have thought that in 3 weeks?
The funny thing is, I think it was a guy from CBS. I remember before the season seeing one guy say, "Yeah, I have the Colts win this division this year." I was like, "What?" But hey,
Might be onto something.
It could happen. I don't think it happens, but it'd be interesting. Anyway, we can move on to Panthers, Seahawks, high scoring game. The disappointing thing is the Seahawks defense. Their offense looks like it's clicking, but your defense facing Andy Dalton, I get it. They get 14 points in the fourth, but still, overall, not an amazing performance. So that's disappointing, but not much other takeaways from that.
Dang, he threw for a crap ton of yards. I didn't even realize. I watched the game. Andy, 360? Jeez.
Yeah,
I watched the game.
He threw the ball 58 times, to be fair.
Still,
yeah.
I mean, that's a good game. No picks, 58 throws. I mean, yeah, I will agree. You were high on the Seahawks defense, though, weren't you?
Yeah, I wasn't super high. I was like mediocre.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's disappointing, but I don't know. I mean, I trust Pete Carroll. I think they'll pick it up. Mm-hmm. The
They have a lot of new pieces.
Yeah, they're
Seahawks have weapons though, dude.
Yeah, Seahawks got a squad. They're about where I predicted. I'd say through 3 weeks. I think my prediction.
I'd say they're underperforming though. I mean, like, dude, DK Metcalf, Kenneth Walker, Tyler Lockett, and if Geno's playing well, dude, they've got a.
But their offenses look good outside of week 1.
Outside of the second half of
defense
week 1, really.
Geno's look good. Yeah.
Defense needs to step it up.
Yeah, like Nick said, they got a big game against the Giants primetime.
Anyway, on to the Bears Chiefs. The Bears suck. Anything you want to add?
Absolutely not.
Nah.
Right, we can move on. Cowboys Cardinals.
Well, wait. Can we talk about the future of the Bears? What do you want to see with the Bears? I'm curious. Like, what is the most immediate?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I want to hear this.
What's the most immediate spot to fill on the Bears?
Not even that. Just like what.
What's the plan?
Week 1 of next season, what would you be like? Oh, like I'm actually kind of excited to watch. Like you can say you're gonna be excited to watch no matter what. Obviously, you're a Bears fan, but like, what would this offseason? What would you consider a successful one for the Bears?
Depends what we're picking.
Like, okay,
do you want to see anybody get rid of, or
well, I think we need a new coach. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we need to get an offensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
And I've said this before to you guys. If we can try to build up this defense and sign Kirk Cousins, that's what I would love to see.
No way, dude. Like,
okay, wait.
Unless you can get Caleb Williams and Drake May.
Well, I think you will be able to. Why would you not be able to?
You never know. If we can get one of them, go after it. If not, I'm not sold on taking any.
I'd like to see any new name in the backfield if I'm a Bears fan. Any new name. If Rashawn Johnson's performing well, and then any new quarterback. I just want to see a new name back there. I don't want to see Fields anymore.
I don't know if Kirk Cousins is even the option over like the 8th pick in the draft quarterback. I don't think Kirk's the option there, man. Like, why would you want to pay Kirk? Like, okay, you just said the Bears defense is not good. Obviously.
I said work on the defense this offseason.
Yeah, but it's not good, right?
Yeah, it's not good.
So they need to upgrade it. So how are they going to upgrade it a lot with Kirk getting paid $45 million? Is that really?
Yeah.
Is Kirk really that worth it?
And Kirk isn't going to raise the level of Mooney or like.
I don't think any NFL player should be paid $45 million, or probably any human being, to be fair.
Okay, socialist.
So you're one of those, yeah. Okay.
So anyway.
All right, Stalin, we got it.
All right, keep going.
But if you're looking,
what I mean.
If you're looking at NFL quarterback terms, $45 million, that's around like top 7-ish.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine for me. You can pay Cook that, and you'll still have extra money because we still don't have many contracts, and you can help sign a player on defense and draft some guys, and hopefully that can do something. But it all starts with the coach, though. Go get a good coach.
Yeah, it's tough to. But no offense to the Bears, but like if I'm Kirk, why am I going there, man?
True. And personally,
because maybe they hire a good coach. Again, it all starts with the coach.
Yeah, but what if like the Falcons offer him a lot of money? He's turning down the Falcons for the Bears?
Probably not.
Personal experience aside, you can get a good coach and still suck.
Yeah. Or like the Niners, like if Purdy gets hurt again. Like, and they're like, okay, we're kind of done.
All right, we need to.
Niners uniform would be terrifying.
Yeah.
Cardinals, Cowboys, 28-16. Cardinals upset of the week. To be honest,
bumped it.
To be honest, 3:25 o'clock games, unless there's some amazing game on. This is my sleeping time on Sunday afternoons, and I take naps.
Okay, 90-year-old man.
I take naps during these games. This is just how it goes.
More milk to watch the Cardinals game.
And the Bears was sucking.
They had a rough weekend, dude. That's I think that's like what it comes down to. But we can.
The Bears was sucking, bro. The Bears was sucking, so there was nothing to stay up for anyway. So
it's fair. After the night you had, dude, I probably would have been asleep too. Okay, yeah, this is disappointing for Dallas. I mean, obviously. I don't know. I don't really know.
Trayvon Diggs looks rough.
Obviously Dobbs. Oh no, my computer's gonna die. Obviously Dobbs looks better than we thought. I mean, I don't know. The Cardinals are decent. I guess that's the takeaway I have. And the Cowboys just had a stinker.
Yeah, the loss of Trayvon Diggs looks very, very rough for the Cowboys. I mean, this is not necessarily a must-win game because necessarily, I mean, Cowboys can win other games, but I mean, this is a win you want to see the Cowboys have every time. So it's a tough loss, and it's a big win for the Cardinals, but I don't think it's really there's no takeaways from this game. Like we expected, there's not many takeaways from this week. It was a pretty boring slate of games.
Anyway, on to the next game. Steelers-Raiders, Sunday Night Football. My takeaway, Steelers defense, Steelers for real. Tomlin's an amazing coach. Pickett has best game of the year. Finally didn't have pressure on him like in 2 seconds. But anyway, yeah, Pickett, he had that big throw to Calvin Austin. That was a nice money throw.
That might have been Pickett's best throw of his career.
But
I'm
anyway,
being honest, like that. No,
that's true.
I liked a lot of what I saw from the Steelers,
Yeah.
and I think they're definitely a team to watch for the playoffs moving forward.
Yeah, Pickett had a good game. I mean, there's no denying that. I don't know if this raises the level for the Steelers that I thought. I mean, even you think the Raiders suck.
We expect them to win this game is the thing, and they
I
barely
picked
win
the
it. So
Raiders. I picked the Raiders like
Same.
just trying to pick an upset, honestly.
Yeah.
It wasn't an upset. The Raiders were
Expecting
favored
a
by
comeback.
3 points. This was my upset of the week.
That's like bull.
That's stupid.
That's stupid.
Steelers were
Vegas-
favored into this.
Steelers were not favored. The Raiders were favored by 3 points, and I have no
Okay,
idea why.
I know, I know, but that's the Vegas was. I don't know what they were thinking.
Are you
You
saying
guys
the
both
objective
picked the Raiders, so why are you trying
Yeah,
to?
we were pushing
I just said.
from the upset?
I just said the Steelers are
outperform.
better than the Raiders and they should win, but I just thought like it might be an upset. I never said the Raiders were better.
Okay, but pick who you think is going to win the game then.
I just did, but it's not about who's better every week. It's
That's not
about
what I'm saying.
matchups and who I
We
just
thought the Raiders were going to escape out with a win. Yes, the Steelers are better though. We
Oh,
know the
okay,
Steelers are better,
okay,
but we thought the
okay.
Raiders could because it's a matchup.
Yeah. I don't know. Weird things happen. Sunday
Josh
night.
Jacobs sucks.
Yeah, I know, dude. He sucked.
Jimmy Garoppolo sucks.
Oh my
So it's,
gosh, dude! The Steelers' run defense is terrible, and he did nothing.
Gonna weekly reminder. I called it. Josh Jacobs isn't as good as we thought.
This wasn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa, one more thing. Sorry, Nick. I'm gonna put this out there because Nick, he texted me it, and I want to put this on record. The Steelers, if they win anything under 10 games, it's disappointing for Nick.
Yeah, very.
That's
Very disappointing.
a hot take. That's a hot take.
If you don't win 10 games, this is a disappointing season.
If you're putting text on the record, can I reference this nude?
Just from what you've seen for the first 3 weeks.
My nudes. My bad.
From what you've seen for the first 3 weeks, 10 wins. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Yeah, obviously they're like projections from their players, but I don't know. That's a tough one for me.
I will give you the playoff chances with the Steelers only because Deontay Johnson's injured right now.
Yeah, we can move on to Monday night.
All right, take it away, Jude. Your Bucks played.
These are not my Bucks,
bro.
Take it away.
Okay, fine. The Eagles won this game because, like I said earlier, football is a game of matchups, and the Bucks O-line is terrible, or it's not good. I won't say they're terrible, but they're not good. And the Eagles' D-line is insane. And both sides of the ball, the Eagles, they're just loaded. I don't know. I picked the Eagles for a reason. I didn't think it's going to be like this, but also there were some tough things. Like I mentioned earlier, Mike Evans dropping passes he usually never drops. That can easily change the game. I mean, going from 3-3, 7-3 is a big difference, and that completely changes the game. But I will say the Eagles are definitely better. Baker did his best. It's tough to ask more from him. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really much to say. I don't really think anything less of the Bucs. I don't know. They just match up bad with the Eagles.
Yeah, we keep saying it that and they keep winning, but it's not it's like they're not convincing wins, and I think it needs to be noted again. The Eagles,
they just win.
They're escaping away with wins on games that they're not playing good enough.
Their offense hasn't been great.
They haven't been good at facilitating. Like it was one of their strong suits, but they just can't get everybody involved in the game.
Yeah, the Bucs secondary was completely by injuries, completely destroyed by injuries. Carlton Davis is out, and then Jamel Dean gets hurt. And they have no depth, so this isn't really surprising. I don't know. Jalen Hurts has 20-1 his last 21 starts. That's pretty nuts. Okay, we can move on.
On to the last game of the week, Rams-Bengals. The Bengals looked very poor offensively till about the end of the second quarter, and then they started to pick it up. But I don't really have many takeaways from this game. A little disappointing from the Rams' perspective, but the Bengals, a win's a win, but you'd love to see the offense start to get back to where you want it to be. But then again, you could say it from the standpoint as, Burrow's out there with a calf injury, not in a good situation health-wise, and you still beat a Rams team who looked pretty solid in the first 2 weeks. So, yeah, you can convince me either way on takeaways for the Bengals from this game, but anyway, what do you have to say?
Bengals are still looking lackluster at best. I mean, it's not a Bengals team you were hoping to see at this stage in the season. But yeah, a win is a win. That's a good.
Yeah, in the NFL, you take wins no matter how they come. Like even no matter how bad you look, you take wins. So obviously, it helps that their offense didn't look good in a loss. I mean, hopefully they can clean some things up. Obviously, you got to give Burrow the benefit of the doubt. He's earned it. I don't know. I don't know what this team like. Their defense looks pretty good. It looks pretty solid. Yeah. But it has, so it's not really shocking. It's just the offense. I don't know. I was kind of. I mean, no offense. I mean, I was kind of disappointed that Joe Burrow played. I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, yeah.
Would you like to see what it looked like without him?
No, it's fun for us to watch him play, but I want him to be healthy. Like, there's no way he wins, what they think they can, 4 playoff games in a row with him on a bad calf. Like, there's only one way they can win the Super Bowl with him healthy. And him trying to, play through these games in September, it's like they might win a couple in September, but I don't know. That's a tough one for me.
All right, on to the next part of the show, the overreaction or not segment. Let's just talk about it. I mean, is this the biggest innovator of football since Jim Thorpe? Like Mike McDaniel, the next offensive guru.
No, there's definitely been bigger innovators between Jim Thorpe and Mike McDaniel. So,
it's a joke, bro. But you have the big offensive innovators in NFL history. You have the names already. You know who they are: Paul Brown, Bill Walsh, Sean Payton to an extent, Andy Reid, guys like this, Shanahan. Maybe can he be in that stratosphere? Overreaction or not?
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say it's an overreaction to say he has the ability to get there. I would say it's an overreaction to say he is there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say not an overreaction to say he is there because he's gonna be.
Well, yeah, it's tough. I'd probably lean with Nick. I don't know. I go back and forth because, he
took over a team that was completely defensive identity. You expect them, go trade for Watson, get a super talented quarterback, and he goes out and 2 back-to-back years when he's healthy, he's putting up the most efficient numbers in football, and now you put up 70 points. So
this might be more of.
Impressive.
I mean, obviously it's impressive what McDaniel's doing, but it helps when you have. You might think I'm crazy. Best wide receiver in football?
Yes.
I mean, I don't.
The hardest to guard receiver in football.
Yeah,
with Jalen Waddle on the other side, which I know they didn't have him.
Tyreek Hill got no love, just a quiet 150 yards.
He's gonna get love later in the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously McDaniel is proven to be really good. I don't know if he's definitely not there yet. He's got to show more. It does help that they turned Tua from a guy who might be out of the league to MVP candidate to some people. I mean, that's really impressive. But yeah, he needs to show more. He's only been a coach for a year and a half. I mean, you can't just already give him.
Well, is he going to be the next offensive guru?
Well, you said he's already there. I don't think he's already there.
I don't think he's already there, but I think he's going to be there.
I mean, that's like
so to say he has the potential is not an overreaction.
No, it's not the potential. I think he's going to be there. Like, I think he's going to be on the Mount Rushmore.
That's to say he has the potential.
No, the potential is saying it could happen,
Yeah, that's what you just said, Nick.
Bro, what?
No, it's like saying, okay, right now, Tua could win MVP, but are you predicting it? It's a yes or no. Yeah, I'm predicting Mike McDaniel.
If you say he has the potential to win, no, he has potential to be on the Mount Rushmore. Is the same as saying he's going to be on the Mount Rushmore. But he's not. Do you think he is? Do you think right now, if he keeps
That's
like
not
he
the
has the talent? Your question doesn't make sense. I don't think you understand the definition of potential.
Next offensive guru. So, are we going to be talking about Mike McDaniel?
There's no way to tell. All I can say is that yes, he has the potential to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you don't think he's going to be there?
No, he has the potential.
He definitely can't be.
Stay after a season and 3 games.
But dude might get shot next week. I don't know. Like.
It's a prediction, but yeah, I understand your standpoint. But anyway, we can move on to, the next statement. Sean Payton, is he going to be one and done? What's the quick verdicts on this? I'm going to say Sean Payton one and done, overreaction. Obviously, he hasn't been impressive, but I think if anything, not that Wilson has been bad because he hasn't been bad. I think they're looking more at moving on from the quarterback if it doesn't go well than the coach.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say not one and done necessarily. I'm not thrilled with Payton. I expected more of an impact on a team that also has weapons. Like they're not supposed to be elite, but they should. Dude, I'm not saying they have weapons like to be one of the best, but they have weapons to be better than a bottom 2 team right now.
It's doable. Like it's workable. I'm
not comparing them to the rest of the league. They're down there with some of the worst teams in the league weaponry.
They're not a bottom 2 team with they have a decent defense.
They're not bottom 2. Okay, they're not like the Packers.
But they're playing bottom 2.
Nick, what did you have them before the season?
We're playing worse than the Cardinals and the Packers.
What was the record prediction for you?
8-9.
So why did you predict that?
Because I thought Sean Payton was the 3rd best coach in football going into the year, and I really love this offensive line. I thought they were going to have a pretty solid run game, and the secondary is really nice. So that's why I had them at 8 wins.
Okay, but you had them at 8. If their secondary was bottom in the league, I think that would drop them a couple games.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying from 8.
What are you talking about?
Like
you said we have a bottom secondary in the league?
No, I said
bottom weapons.
I said you have bottom.
Maybe they're bottom 10, but they're not like the worst in the NFL.
This is a point. This is a point.
Well, what do you want me to say?
All I'm trying to say is they have the weapons to be better than their performance. That's all I wanted to say. And then
their defense is. So we had to go into it. That's all it is, bro. Their offense has not even been. It's not even been bad.
We've struggled. Like Javonte has not been good. I wouldn't say our offense.
I'll say it's not an overreaction.
The defense is the bigger issue. The defense is the bigger issue.
I'll say it's not an overreaction. I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's gonna happen. That's not what I'm saying. But like right now, through 3 weeks,
it's not. Can it happen? Is it going to happen or no?
Is the potential to happen? Here we go again.
No, it's not going to happen. Unless he retires.
When we started the segment week 1, we went over. If you say not an overreaction, then you're saying it's going to happen.
Well, I'll just say this: like all the talk in the offseason, he said, "Oh yeah, we're going to be a playoff team," and then him saying, "Nat Hackett is the worst coach ever." And then come out and play like this for 3 weeks. I mean, that's really bad. I'll say this, Nick. I'll have an answer for you in about 5 days after they play the Bears. If they lose to the Bears, he's done. There's no way. There's no way he can bring him back to lose to the Bears. The Bears lose to everybody. And
the Bears should go 0-16.
They're not going to, but
0-17. Sorry. They won't, but they should. They
lose to the Bears. I think it's real. Like I'll say that. Is that a fair answer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would say overreaction because I don't think Payton's the biggest issue.
Yeah, I agree. But like, what can you do with that contract? What can you do with Russ? Like, you can't cut him. Who's going to take him at this point with that money? Like
Bears.
All right, we can move on. Okay, last overreaction of that statement. The Cleveland Browns are the best defense in the NFL. What do you guys think?
Not an overreaction.
I'm going to say overreaction.
Dude, 3 weeks, it's not an overreaction.
I understand your point, but the Bengals, they were banged up week one.
Well, what's the criteria? Are we saying? I want to get clarity on the question. Like, are they the best defense so far? Through 3 weeks, they have been the best defense. But are they the best defense?
Are they the best
Are they
defense
going to
right
be the
now?
best? Right now, yeah, they're the best defense. But will they be the best defense through 17? I don't think so.
Okay, fail.
So right now, they've been the best defense. Yeah.
I'll go on a limb. I'll say they will be. I'll go on a limb here.
Well, you're an idiot.
I'm never talking ever again. Their defense is stacked, and their defensive coordinator. Oh, the name's slipping me. Who they fired?
They hired Jim Schwartz and they fired Joe Barry.
Yeah, no, not Joe Barry.
It was Woods.
Joe Woods. He sucks. He needed to go for a while. So I don't know. The defense is stacked. I'll go on a limb. I'll say they're the best defense in the NFL.
I respect that, but Niners and like teams like that, I think are going to look like a better defense.
Garrett had 4 sacks, bro.
But yeah, that's why I say so far, yeah, they have been the best. Sorry, go ahead.
On to my MVP ladder after week 3. Listen, I mean, if it wasn't player, if it was most valuable personnel, Mike McDaniel would be one and it wouldn't even be close. But since it has to be a player, look at that Tyreek Hill. Just the way he impacts the game, getting open downfield, getting open in a flash. The way he's really helped elevate Tua the last 2 years, and looking at through 3 games, what this is based off of, I think he's the most valuable player in football right now. 2, even though we can tend to try to take credit away from him, Tua has been very accurate and efficient, even more than he was last year. And just the accuracy that he.
Who's trying to take away credit from Tua? Tua's a dog.
Well, because, McDaniel, Hill, all that, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, Tua, incredible accuracy last game. Just spot on. Accuracy is still the most important trait from an NFL quarterback. So that's impressive. Number 3, Mahomes. He's still putting up good numbers through 3 games. They're 2-1. They're just not 3-0. So maybe he's not getting quite, super MVP talk like he has been in past years. But yeah, he's up there. These are my 3 through week 3. Any questions, concerns?
Yes. I'll give you this. The list, it's fine, but I don't know if Tua should be up there. I think I would move him. But the one thing is, I will say, like, who is going to be on there? Like, through 3 weeks, there's not really not many guys.
Yeah, there's not a standout.
I know. I'll give you
that. Hill and Tua are pretty close to
I'd take Hill as the MVP over Tua, because Tua had the exact. I don't know if y'all saw that. The exact same numbers through 3 weeks last year, and nobody has an MVP. Literally the exact, same yards, touchdowns, interceptions. No way, dude. That's cap. No way.
But I mean, if you're gonna point out a problem, you got to have a solution. So who replaces Tua on?
I know. That's what I was saying. Like, it's fine, because who else is gonna be? I mean, you could say Allen, but he just
too rough of a week 1.
Yeah, week 1 was just rough. Yeah, like all these quarterbacks, like Herbert's played insane, but his team success. So I don't know.
All right, we are going to move on to potentially our last segment. Jude, it's your 3 players under pressure for this week. Who you got?
All right, like we did last time, this is not in order. It's just 3 guys. Number 1, I think this should be glaringly obvious. Daniel Jones. We talked about it earlier. He's been rough through 3 weeks, and he got paid like he's a top guy, like top 10 guy, and he hasn't shown that yet. Now, yeah, you can say, well, Saquon's out, but if you're a top guy, you're gonna look better than he has. And
Breida wasn't horrible.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, he had a great game against the Cardinals, but if you're really gonna sit there and defend,
then the Cardinals go and beat the Cowboys.
But you see,
so it's tough to say. It's very tough to say with the Giants. So I agree. That's
Daniel Jones.
He's been under a lot of pressure. Yes, he hasn't shown what you maybe want him to show as that guy, which is your point. So I understand that, but feel like it's not fair to put a lot of blame on him for this.
I think that's fair, but when you get paid like that, your standard changes. Like, that's the thing. I don't hold him to that standard because I don't think he's that good. But the organization just gave him a crap load of money, and like I said, if they lose this game, they're starting 1-5, and their season might be done. So
what's the standard? What's the standard for a successful week? Because I think Daniel Jones can have a successful week and lose with this team. So I think we should set a standard for Jones, for a successful Jones game, because I need
to see a good game and a win.
I don't think
a good game and a loss isn't going to do it for me.
I want a close game, and I want to see 20+ points put up for the Giants. But I don't expect to win. I think the Seahawks can still outshoot them is the issue.
I think it's fair. The Seahawks should win. Their roster is just better. Their team is just better.
But you do want to see a win. I get what you're saying.
Jones just needs to prove he's worth the money, and he hasn't shown that. So that's why I have him as one of my guys.
Yeah, these are two mid-level things. We got Seahawks defense, who has been not too good, versus Daniel Jones, who has been not too good. So one of them is going to come out looking better than the other.
Yeah. Number two. Kind of tough because we kind of just talked about him a lot. He's not a player. It's a coach. It's Sean Payton.
Yeah.
It's Sean Payton. I mean,
especially with the Bears.
This one's glaringly, this one's obvious to me. I don't want to repeat what I just said earlier, but things he said in the offseason. I thought the Broncos would be better than they are. To have that week, I need to see a bounce back.
It's a must-win game.
Yeah, it's must-win. Yeah, it's
must-win game.
It's kind of a must-win for both teams, though. That's the funny part.
Well, yeah.
There's no must-win game for the Bears because it's over.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be rude, but it's over.
Jackson, your team just got 70 scored on them, so both of our teams are not looking good.
Hey, you haven't played the Dolphins.
We played the Chiefs.
Dolphins have a higher scoring offense.
Mike McDaniel, so
And let's talk about the aggregate. I want to see the aggregate of Broncos versus
Does that mean all 3 games total? Does that mean?
Yeah, I want to see the total of all 3 games scored, even with a 70 to 20 point blowout.
It's probably the Broncos losing by more. I'm not gonna lie, like by a lot, because the Bears lost by 18, they lost by 10. We lost by 30.
We lost by 2.
Okay, you really want me to pull up the point differentials?
So 52.
Okay, I have the point differentials right here. Broncos
I haven't done the
-53,
math. I'm curious.
Bears -59.
That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, I don't necessarily think the Broncos, like, if they miss the playoffs and if they win like 7, 8 games, which I don't necessarily think it's a hot take. Like, I think it's still possible. Like, if they win 7 games, like, I don't think it's off the board. I think if they do that, the season's not a total failure. But if they lose this game, he might be looking for a new house.
They gave us a pretty easy start. Freaking Raiders
at home and Commanders at home. Like, you got to win one.
Those were two.
You got to win one of those games against Howell and Jimmy G. Like, come on, man, you got to win those or win.
Yeah,
one.
and L here is another season over moment. Which the season's probably already over.
Under pressure.
Can I take a guess?
Yeah, sure.
Is it Baker?
No, it's not.
Really?
How is he under pressure?
Desmond Riddle?
I don't know. He's about to repeat the cycle.
Oh, man. Here you go. I'm surprised Nick didn't rub this one in my face today. He was being nice today. I don't know.
Jim Thorpe.
Oh, my third player? Trevor Lawrence.
I don't
understand this one. He's played fine.
No. He's
got to play better.
PFF. No, I don't.
Nick, where's he in your rankings?
I'm not doing my rankings.
I'm saying he needs.
But where was he preseason power rankings? Where was he on quarterbacks?
He was 4.
Yeah, he was 4.
Is he playing like a top 5 quarterback right now?
I mean, I have to go back and look at all the quarterbacks before I debate. But PFF
is he playing better than Tua?
He's not playing better than
Is he playing better than Patrick Mahomes?
No.
Is he playing better than Josh Allen?
That's a tough one. That's a very tough one.
No.
Allen, if you take
he does not look good, bro.
one,
Trevor Lawrence has not looked like I don't like
Herbert. What about Herbert?
He's 3. Nick, shut up. He has 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions on the season. Like
What about Herbert? Is he playing better than Herbert? Justin Herbert.
That's 4. Okay, bye, Nick. Go. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll finish it out, dude. You gotta pee. We'll finish it
back. It's fine. Okay, guys. Nick needs to go to the bathroom. Okay, Nick go to the bathroom, and me and Jackson will have a little discussion here.
All right, then answer the question. Let's get it over with.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert. 2.
That's 4.
Right there. Justin Herbert.
Herbert has been better than Lawrence.
Okay. Has he played better than Brock Purdy?
I don't know.
What? You're the biggest Brock Purdy lover.
I can love any quarterback, but that doesn't mean they've been top 5.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is he played better. I don't think Purdy's top 5. All right,
but anyway, so Lawrence is under pressure this week.
They need to win. They need to win.
They need to win. Okay, so that should be the Jaguars, not Lawrence.
Who do they play? Trevor Lawrence is under pressure. Lawrence
needs to play good, and they need to win. Nick, you realize 80% of his career has been bad?
No, that's not true.
Yes.
His rookie year, he was
75% actually. His rookie year, he was awful.
No, he wasn't. His situation was awful. You go back and watch it.
It doesn't matter. He was bad. He was bad. I don't care. He's a top 4 quarterback. I don't care about situation.
Yeah, dude, there has to be some like accountability for a top 5 quarterback.
So he just magically goes from like a 28th ranked quarterback to 4 because of 10 good weeks last season.
I had him 17th after his rookie year, and then I had him.
That's all based off of potential. That is nothing.
I went back and watched the tape and graded.
I'm sorry.
I had Mac 18. I thought his rookie year was better than Max. If you looked at the tape,
that might be true because Mac was pretty bad.
Well, Mac made the Pro Bowl.
That Pro Bowl doesn't mean jack, and you know that.
No, okay, no offense, but a top 5 QB does not lose like that to the Texans.
Yeah, he needs to step it up.
Almost lost to the Texans last year, and he didn't even play bad. He was far from the reason why they lost. The defense couldn't stop anything. They missed a field goal.
He did not play top 5
in the red zone, I believe, with driving the ball. The receiver fumbled.
Nick, you had him as a top 5 quarterback. And other people agree. I'm not just saying because of you. Other people have him way higher than he needs to be just based off potential and 10 good weeks last year. And that's not really – how is that even a discussion? Through 3 weeks, he has not looked like that. If they go 1-3, you're really going to sit up here and still roll your eyes at us?
You can say you think he's going to be top 5 by the end of the year. But as of now, he has not played like a top 5 quarterback.
No.
That's all I want you to say.
I said I have to go back and look at the names, and we'll get
I just read you and you said, I don't know.
Lamar Jackson. Has he played better than Lamar Jackson?
No.
Yes.
No.
He has not.
No.
Well, we're gonna have rankings out after week 4.
I'm so curious to see that. I'm gonna have my own too.
Nick, can we all do our own rankings?
Well, you can, but I was gonna do I don't mean to spoil it, but I was gonna do a QB pyramid type thing, starting next week, and that can change week to week. It's not like I'm gonna always have Mahomes at the top, Burrow or Allen at 2 and Burrow at 3. That can change week to week. So I don't know. You can if you want, but
well, dude, I don't know. I can't. How can you put Trevor Lawrence top 5 right now? Is all there's just no way.
He's under pressure.
All right. Well, that's gonna be the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, week 4 picks. So anyway,